This season, the Minnesota Vikings did a lot better than everyone expected them to. I mean, when JJ McCarthy got hurt, I don't think anyone really expected Sam Darnold to bring these guys to the playoffs, but as soon as they hit the playoffs, they did get exposed pretty badly. So today, I'm going to be giving myself 4 seasons to rebuild the Minnesota Vikings, and the goal is to win them a Super Bowl. But obviously, the Vikings are already in a pretty good situation to start things off. I mean, this is a very good offense, and on the other hand, this defense is looking pretty solid as well. I mean, I don't know if we're built well enough to win a Super Bowl in the first season, but I feel like we should at least be making the playoffs. But this season, the Vikings played nowhere near as good as they did in real life, but we're still gonna go 10-7, which does barely put us in the playoffs. And to start off the postseason, we have to play the Cowboys on the road. And so far, it looks like it has not been the best start for the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, we're currently down 14-0 in the third quarter, so I feel like it's basically a must-score drive right now. And of course, Aaron Jones is gonna lose 2 yards there, so that's gonna set us back a little bit. I'm gonna put in the air this time, and hopefully we can get Addison open. We were so close to getting sacked. I need this O-line to play better if we want to win this game, because so far they have been collapsing under pressure pretty easily. I mean, that stop right there is gonna bring up a third down, so I kind of need somebody to get this here. I'm gonna go back for Addison, and once again we do have him. He's barely gonna get the first. I really want to try and go for Jefferson here, so I'm gonna see if we can get him open on this route, but if he's locked up, I feel like we should at least have Addison open. It looks like Jefferson's gonna be there though, so that is another first down. Or not. Apparently we were a couple of inches short, so I am gonna go for a bit of a shot here, because if this doesn't work out, I feel like on third down we should be able to get a couple of inches easily, but we're gonna get sacked. I mean, that's just a prime example of how our O-line has been today, man. It's awful, but I guess we gotta get 7 yards if we want to stay on the field now. And thankfully Jefferson's gonna be there, so we are still alive. I'm gonna try and go for the tight end right here though, because if Hawkinson can get away, that could go for a touchdown. I gotta be careful though, because if we throw it at Diggs, there's a decent chance it gets picked off. We should have that though. Hawkinson's in for the touchdown. So that is going to put the Vikings right back into this thing, but we need more out of our defense if we want to come back. And we actually did almost pull off the comeback, as you can see, but we ended up losing by 3 points. So that is definitely a tough way to end off year number 1. So obviously, just like real life, I guess this Vikings team was not built for the playoffs, but to end off year number 1, it looks like Patrick Mahomes is going to be winning MVP. And just like this season, it looks like the Eagles are going to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but this time it was only a 3-point game. But anyways, that's going to bring us to the first off season of this video. And on the bright side, we have tons of money to work with in free agency, but we are going to be losing a few players. But the only one I'm really worried about is Byron Murphy, so I guess we'll have to find a new corner. I am going to let Sam Darnold go as well, because I'm going to start JJ McCarthy next season, because I feel like JJ McCarthy's definitely going to be our quarterback of the future, but I wasn't able to get anyone in free agency. I did target a few players, but no one ended up signing. I was able to make a pretty big trade with the Chicago Bears though, because for a first-round pick, second-round pick, and 2 fifth-round picks, I was able to get Jalen Johnson. And the Minnesota Vikings only have 3 draft picks in 2025, and since I trade away the 2 fifth-round picks, all we had was 1 first-round pick. I feel like I definitely made it count though, because I did draft Ashton Genty, who should be really solid for us. He's going to be a 78 overall to start off. And even though we didn't have a whole lot of upgrades, the Vikings did do a bit better in year number 2 with an 11-6 record, which does win the division. It looks like the Eagles ended up finishing the season with a 16-1 record though, which is pretty alarming for us. So I really hope that we don't have to see Philly, but to start things off, we have to play the 49ers. And I honestly had a bad feeling heading into this game, because San Francisco on paper does have a much better roster than us, but at the moment we are up by 3 points. So hopefully we can have a solid drive, because taking a 2-score lead into the half would be good for us. I'm gonna see if we can go for Jefferson here though, and it looks like he's not gonna have a whole lot of space, so he's only gonna get like a 2-yard pickup. So that does bring up a third down. We only need 4 yards though, and it looks like we are gonna have Addison wide open. open, and he's gonna get a block from Genty. And in case you're wondering how our new players are doing, Ashton Genty went all the way up to an 83 overall, so obviously he's had a solid season. And McCarthy has also gone up to an 83 overall, which is good, because I think to start off the year, he was only like a 78 overall. So it's nice to see that they are progressing. That's gonna be a big play. I mean, these are guys that we should have for the whole video. So if they keep progressing the way that they are right now, we should be an unstoppable offense in a few seasons. I think we're gonna... Oh, never mind. I was gonna try and go for Jefferson. We're gonna get sacked by Bosa, though. So I guess taking it over the pocket there definitely backfired. I'm just gonna go back to this simple route right here, though, because I'm not really trying to get the first down yardage all in one play. That will make it quite a bit easier, though. So now we only need 11 yards instead of 20, which is still a lot, but I'm hoping Jefferson can pick this up for us. He's gonna have some separation, and he's got the first down. I let the clock run a little bit too much after that, though, so we only have 14 seconds on the clock now to score, so I'm gonna go for a bit of a shot here. That's gonna be an interception too, man. I knew I shouldn't have let that much time run. We're coming back out here in the third quarter, though, and it looks like I do have a chance to redeem myself, because I can't even lie. That was a really bad decision to put that in the air, but hopefully we can get in the end zone to take a 2-score lead here. I mean, our field position is great. I'm not even gonna risk throwing another pick, man. I mean, if we can just keep running it with Genty, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hand it off to him again here, and it looks like he's gonna get caught. If we could have got around him, that probably would have been a touchdown, but either way, I'm gonna go for one more run with him. If he gets stopped, I'll probably put it in the air, but it looks like he's gonna have the touchdown. So Ashton Genty is gonna make it a 10-point lead for the Minnesota Vikings, and after that, it looks like we were able to hold on for the win. So I'd call that an upset, because I was honestly expecting to lose this game. That's gonna send us to the divisional round, where we have to play the LA Rams. But just like this season, I mean, it seems like the Vikings are having a pretty rough go against LA right now, because we are down 21-3 in the third quarter. Oh, Genty's got a big play. We need more of that, because obviously this is a must-score drive at this point. I mean, if we can score a touchdown, we do still have a chance to win this thing, but I feel like if we give the ball away without scoring, we're pretty much done at this point. That's going to be a big play from Jefferson. I want to try and go for a shot to the end zone here, so I'm going to see if we can get this route to work out. If Jefferson's locked up, I might still be able to go for Naylor, who seems to have absolutely nobody on him, and he's going to be right there. I feel like we can actually like almost QB sneak it at this point, but I'm still gonna run it one more time with Genty, and it looks like he is gonna be in for the touchdown this time, so that will make it a 2-score game again. But either way, we need everything to go right from here on out if we want to come back, but it looks like that just didn't happen. I mean, we actually got obliterated. It was 35-10, so we're gonna lose in a blowout, which will send us home. I mean, I wasn't expecting to lose that badly, but I guess LA really proved that they were the better team. But to end off year number 2, it looks like Jalen Hurts is going to be winning MVP. And after beating us, it looks like the Rams did go all the way to the Super Bowl, but they ended up losing to the Buffalo Bills. But that's going to bring us to another offseason, and I'd like to say that we had a pretty solid free agency, because I was able to sign Owe, Lawrence, Batonio, and McGovern. But anyways, I mean, our safeties are pretty garbage right now, so I went out and made a pretty big trade with the Cardinals. It was a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it cost me a 1st-round pick, 3rd-round pick, and 4th-round pick, but I was able to bring in Budda Baker. And after that, I also made a trade with the Green Bay Packers for Kenny Clark. And after that, I made one final trade, which was a very expensive final trade, but we're gonna get Brian Branch from the Lions. So as you can see, heading into year number 3, I feel like we honestly have one of the better offenses in the NFC. And up to this point, I feel like we did also do a pretty good job at rebuilding this defense. And after all of the upgrades in the offseason, it looks like the Vikings went on an absolute tear, because they're gonna go 15-2 to win the division, and they also got the number 1 seed. And to start off the postseason, it looks like we have a rematch against the Dallas Cowboys, and Dallas has already ended one playoff run for us today, so I gotta make sure that it doesn't happen again. We are currently up 9-7 right now, so it is a really close game, and I can already tell that Ashton Genty is getting better. I mean, the fact that he stood up through all of that contact is pretty ridiculous. I'm gonna go for another run right here though, and it looks like he's almost got another 1st down. We're only gonna be like 3 yards away, so I'm gonna go for a bit of a shot here. If Ray McLeod can get some separation, I might go for him, but Actually, that's probably our best option. He's gonna, oh, that was almost a crazy grab. I mean, I was hoping to go for Jefferson there, but anyways, I guess it's 3rd and 3 now, and it looks like we actually should have Addison open. He's gonna come down with that one, so that'll bring it all the way down to the 19-yard line. I'm gonna go for another run with Genty here. I'm hoping that the O-line can give us some solid blocks, and it looks like we're gonna get them. That's gonna put us right there. So 5 yards to go, and we're in for another touchdown. I'm obviously just gonna go for another run with Genty here, and hopefully this time he can punch it in. I'm pretty sure the defense did jump there as well. Obviously, I'm just gonna decline it and take the touchdown though, so that will give us a 2-score lead. I'm gonna bring the defense out here though, because I want to make sure that Dak does not put any more points on the board here. I mean, it's 2nd and 14, so all we gotta do is get 2 stops. I'm running man. We're gonna get a sack too here, so that's gonna back him up even more. So he's gonna need 23 yards if he wants to stay on the field, and it looks like he is not gonna get it. He made it a lot closer than I wanted him to, but we will take him off the field or not. I guess he's kind of running out of options here, so it looks like they are gonna be going for it on 4th down. So I really gotta lock in here for a second and make sure that everybody on this offense is locked up. I think we've got, oh, no way, CeeDee Lamb's gonna be there. I mean, that really just caught me off guard. I did not think that he was gonna go for it on 4th and 7. Starting to think if we can get like a pick or something here though, that should pretty much put this game away. That was close. Branch was almost there. And after that, Dallas got the ball all the way down to the 5-yard line, so it's gonna be pretty tough to get a stop here, but I feel like our red zone defense has been pretty good lately, and we're gonna get the interception. So that pick right there should pretty much put this thing away, and it looks like we did hold on for the dub after that. So that's gonna send the Vikings to the NFC Championship game, and it looks like we have another rematch in the NFC Championship game, because now we have to play the LA Rams, and I actually have no idea how the LA Rams have made it this far. I gotta lock in real quick because it is 3rd and 18, so if we can get one more stop, we're gonna hold them to a field goal. I think we have everybody locked up. Darnold's gonna go on the run though, so that is gonna make their field goal a lot easier, and it looks like it is gonna be good. But anyways, yes, you did hear me right. They have Sam Darnold as their quarterback, so we're playing against our former QB here, and they have a 7-10 record, so I'm not too sure how they made it this far. I don't even know how they got into the playoffs with a record like that. I mean, I feel like the Rams defense is really the only reason that they are still alive right now, and they did bring up a 3rd down after that, so we need to get 10 yards to stay alive. It looks like we've got Jefferson for the first though, and I know I just ran this play and it did obviously fail, but I'm gonna see if we can get it to work out this time, because I feel like we were pretty close to bringing it in the last time I ran it, and it looks like that's gonna be pass interference. That interception is coming back 100%. So even though I couldn't catch it, it's gonna work out for me in the end, because now we only need 26 yards for the touchdown. I'm gonna try and go for Addison here, but he's locked up, so I guess I'll just keep it on the ground with JJ. I might actually be good to get this route right here to work out. I mean, I'm gonna try and go for who even is that? I think that's hold on, we got the first down either way with McCarthy. Anyways, I think that was McLeod that was running that route, but I'm gonna try and end it right here with Jefferson, who's gonna be open for the touchdown. So that will tie the game up for the moment, but as long as we don't miss this PAT, that is gonna give us a 1-point lead, and I was hoping that we would be able to hold on for the dub after that, but it looks like LA was able to get the win. So a 7-10 Ram team is going to the Super Bowl, and we are once again headed home. I mean, there's gotta be something in that LA water, because there's no way that a 7-10 team should be playing in the Super Bowl. But to end off the season, it looks like Josh Allen's gonna be winning MVP. And in the Super Bowl, it looks like the LA Rams miracle run is gonna come to an end, because they lost to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, neither of those teams should have even been in the Super Bowl, because Miami had a 9-8 record as well. But anyways, that's gonna bring us to another off season, and this is gonna be the final off season too, and we only have 4.1 million to work with, so I don't think we're going to be able to do much. We're going to be losing Brian O'Neill, which is definitely a hit, and I couldn't afford to do anything in free agency either, so this offense definitely looks a little bit worse than last year, because this O-line is pretty bad right now. On the other hand, the defense does basically look exactly the same as it did last year, and it looks like we did fall off quite a bit from last season, because we're going to go 12-5, but the NFC was pretty bad this year, so that was enough to to win the division and give us the 1 seed. But of course, once again, in the divisional round, we have to play the LA Rams. I mean, at this point, I just can't escape these guys, but this time it looks like we're actually in a good position to win this game. If we can score a touchdown here, it should be over, which would be great because so far throughout this whole video, the Rams have been an absolute nightmare to play against, but I'm going to keep it on the ground again with Genty, and it looks like we are really close to being in. We only need to get 2 yards, so I'm going to go for another run right here, and hopefully he can punch this in for a touchdown. I need some blocks from the O-line, and we are not going to get them. I mean, I guess I shouldn't expect too much out of the O-line because you saw it. The O-line's pretty garbage right now, but I'm going to put it in the air. I think we're better off to just keep this on the ground. It looks like McCarthy's going to be in. So that will give us a 3-score lead, which should hopefully put this game away. And we were able to hold on for the dub after that. So we're finally going to beat the LA Rams, which will send us back to the NFC Championship game. And in the NFC Championship game, it looks like we're going to be taking on the Green Bay Packers. And it looks like our season is on the line right now. But if we can score a touchdown, that will walk it off. So obviously that's what I'm going for. But we only have a minute to try and put some points on the board, so I gotta go for a few shots and hope that they work out. I mean, that was definitely a good start. I didn't think that play was gonna work out because every time I've ran it, it has gotten shut down, but this time Jefferson actually got it. I did just have to burn my final timeout right there though, so that does kind of suck, but I'm gonna try and go for, I don't think I can go for anyone here. I'm just gonna dump it off to Genty and hope that he gets the first down, which he was able to get, but that clock is gonna run a lot, so we're only gonna have time for one more play if we can get the ball off here. I just gotta throw up a prayer and hope that somebody can bring this in, and it looks like we've got it for the walk-off touchdown as the clock expires. So that is one hell of a way to send your team to the Super Bowl. That was actually so close, man. I cannot believe that's how this game's gonna end, but either way, we are now 1-1 away from finally getting the job done. I mean, that has gotta be like the play of the year right there from JJ McCarthy. But to end off the final season of this video, Patrick Mahomes is gonna be winning another MVP, but it's nice to see that JJ McCarthy finished 3rd place in the votings. And in the Super Bowl, the last team standing in our way is the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I would like to think that we can beat Jacksonville. I mean, we have a 10-point lead already, so if we score here, that will make it a 3-score game. We have Hawkinson. I kind of let that hang in the air for too much time, but it worked out either way. I'm gonna run a slant though and see if we can get Jefferson open. I think we should. That's gonna be close. We should have that though. That actually might go for a touchdown. If not, it's gonna be close. He's got it all the way down to the 1-yard line, so all we gotta do is not lose a yard here. Who's gonna be rushing us? I think Lloyd is gonna be right there, but it looks like Genty's in for the touchdown, so that will make it a 3-score lead for the Minnesota Vikings. Now we just gotta hope that our defense can hold on to this, and it looks like the defense was able to hold on for the dub, so the Minnesota Vikings are gonna be getting the job done. I'm not gonna lie though, man, I thought we were done against Green Bay. I did not think that we were actually gonna be in this position. I mean, I was really starting to think that this was gonna be a bust, but obviously, as you can see to end off the video, JJ McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings are gonna be hoisting a well-deserved Lombardi trophy. But that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd really help out the channel. And if you have any video ideas, feel free to drop them down below. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. And while you're down there, make sure you check out my socials. I got everything linked in my description below. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.